and I start to cry each time we meet.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're alright. Right, today is a very first kind of video I've ever done like this. It's not of any appliances, washing machines or anything. Today I'm going to be doing a book review. My first ever book review I've ever actually done. For those of you who, as I said, are close to me on Facebook and everything, and in life, you'll know what, that I'm a Motown person. Excuse my cough. Got a bit of a cold, as you all know. And for Christmas, I got this book. It's called, as it says, The Lost Supreme. The Life of Dreamgirl Florence Ballard by Peter Benjaminson. For those who know about Motown, because obviously there are going to be some Motown people watching this, I think the majority of the audience will be Motown fans. For those of you who don't know who Florence Ballard is, she is the founding member of, former lead vocalist and backing singer of the famous girl group The Supremes, and of course they were founded as the Primettes in Detroit, Michigan. Anyway, now I leave all the facts for another video. This book is about her life. As I said, for those who know about the Supremes and know about the members, you'll all know that Florence led a very dramatic life, very tragic life, sad. Despite being, you know, the one who founded the group, there was a lot of inside stories and backstories that we didn't get to know about. As I just said, it's not really relevant, but I just want to, as I said, with all my videos and albums and stuff, I do not want this to become a debating site or anything for arguing about what's happened to Florence. As I said, what's in this book is the truth because it's from Florence herself. It's not anything that's been made up, and it's from what Peter Benjaminson himself has gotten from her interview, which you can find clips of on YouTube. So let's start with, well, I love, you know, the cover of this. I think that this picture of Florence is indeed very beautiful. And this is going to be a picture I'm actually going to use to have a poster of her. I think this was taken 1966 because she's wearing a wig in this and her famous earrings. So she definitely would have been in the Supremes at the time. If we go on to the back cover, you got it's a very famous picture of the Supremes wearing this outfit, and it's got reviews. So you got Benjaminson attempts valiantly painting to resurrect the reputation of founding Supreme member Flo Ballard. Publishes weekly. You've got Michael Musto, Village Voice, AARP. I don't know who they are. Library Journal, Boston Globe, Slept and Case Closed. Yeah, no, Gerald Posner, author of Motown, Why America Slept and Case Closed, and then you've even got Otis Williams from the Temptations, and the Detroit Free Press, and yeah, Lawrence Hill Books. There's actually 14. You actually got the price there. So I received this from Amazon. I'm friends with Peter Benjaminson on Facebook, and he knows just how much I've appreciated this book. It's the first book I ever cried to. Getting to chapter 23, halfway through chapter 23 is when Flo passes away. And it was very painful to read this book throughout, but at that point I cried. It's the first book I've ever cried reading, and she's the first person I've ever actually cried over that I actually don't know, because other people have been family, of course. I belong to a lot of groups that are for appreciation of the Supremes in general, Motown, and of course Florence Ballard. I belong to about 3 pages on Facebook, and I can give people a link in the description if they would want to see this. Or if not, go on Facebook and search for Florence Ballard fans. Oh, I've got to remember that long one. Florence Ballard Forever Remember. Just do Florence Ballard Forever and it should come up. And then there's obviously stopping the name of the Supremes as well. Oh, and there's also Florence Ballard Immortal as well. Now, this book covers all of her life from talking about her childhood up until the very last minute of the funeral. It includes the trouble she had with Berry Gordy Jr., the founder of Motown, and it includes some pictures of her as well, which I'll show as well. But let's see if I find that. Let me see if I can find where the pictures are. There we go. Right, now I do feel a bit uncomfortable showing certain pictures because, okay, well, this is, as you can see, it says Diane Ross, because Diana is actually called Diane Ross, and it was missing. I don't know what it was. It was a mistake on her birth certificate that put Diana Ross. Very nice there. It's a very famous picture of Flo, that one, and that's yeah, the iconic Supremes. And here we are. The Supremes were the Primettes before they came the Supremes. They're made equivalents of the Primes, later named the Temptations. Otis Williams, yeah, and who Florence actually had they went out together at one point. They're signing signing autographs, and that's their Christmas. And that's her boyfriend, Roger Pearson, 67. I don't know what car that is there. So that's the same picture as that. She's just turned around in that. And that's the one I like of that one. Christmas hat. And here's the more rarer photos. This one is a particular favourite. It's become a bit of a joke actually. This one, she's looking angry in that one. And that's with Lisa Chapman. Diana Ross with Lisa Chapman, her daughter. I would obviously want to show this part, okay? That's her daughter's there. That's her death certificate. So just in case, you know, her daughters are to see this or anything, I don't really wish to show that sort of thing. If I had to sum up this book in words, it's very emotional. Of course, I would highly recommend to get it if you can get it on Amazon, both in hard book and soft, hard cover and soft cover is what I've got. I would say it's the most emotional book I've ever read. It's particularly great if you want to find out everything about the Supremes, because after reading this, I found out so much about her life, and it's great to be able to do this, especially belonging to groups. But I am going to warn you, if you have got a tender heart, this book is going to kill you because of how emotional it is. There's points where you can really feel Flo's emotions and what happened. It broke my heart to read a lot of the stuff about her, I will say that. And it does make you feel sort of angry that she had to go, you know, someone as innocent and as loving as Flo had to go through that. But I appreciate the fact that, you know, Peter Benjaminson actually went to the extent of doing this. Because, you know, it's great. You know, for once we don't... There's these people that said, you know, I'm not naming anyone. Well, I'm not going to name anyone because I don't know anyone that will do it. But there are people out there who do like to try and change the history of the Supremes. I've come across it on many videos and whatnot, and many forums I've been on. But it's great to read this and you know what the history is. You know, there's always that thing, if she left the Supremes before she was kicked out. Well, from reading this book, she was kicked out. But I mean, there's a lot of inside stories, you know, about her being on welfare when she claimed that she was becoming an alcoholic. And it really does make you realise that life isn't all roses just because you're in a group, especially as famous as the Supremes. You come to realise that it has its doubts. But this is the Lost Supreme. It's even got, well, I'll just show the chapters it's got. He's also written a book about Mary Wells as well. She's another famous Motown singer. Yeah, so Florence Glenda Ballard, and as I said, she was Florence Glenda Ballard Chapman from 1968 onwards. So you have the contents. And you have a quote. I like this one now. At the end is Florence Ballard. She's the quiet one. As Diana Ross says. That's what you think, Florence Ballard. Because I say, you get one thing I like about this book actually, though, is you get to learn about Flo's personality, and I quite actually, as well as it being, you know, an emotional book, it's actually quite a comical book, because there are some points in here that you'd find where Flo would like, as I said, she was someone that spoke the truth and she would not hold back. You gave her trouble, she gave you trouble back. So you see a lot of the quotes she uses in here and whatnot, and even in her interview, it's nice. And I said one thing I always said about is, if you always felt emotional reading the book, I just used to look at the cover and just seeing her happy was just. I know obviously some people might think, oh gosh, that's a bit strange, but that's what us Supremes fans actually feel. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting this signed by Peter, maybe next few weeks or so. And then I'm going to showcase this in a display, like, maybe a plastic case, and just keep it safe. I've also got Mary Wilson's Dreamgirl and Supreme Faith, My Life as a Supreme. Her 2 books combined into one, which I will read soon. There's also one, The Truth About Florence Ballard, which is written by her sister Maxine Ballard, or Maxine Precious Ballard. So if you heard that, that's just the washing machine in the background. And what's the other one? There's even one. There's I think is his name Randall Wilson. There's so many books about her that are written, and hopefully, I mean, it'd be good if we could have a movie of her. The actress and singer Faith Evans was meant to be portraying her in an actual movie called The Lost Supreme, but she dropped out. But as far as I've been told, there could be another one she could be doing, but if not, as long as we've got books like this to keep her going. Hopefully this year I should be flying out to Detroit because I want to go and visit Florence's grave and go on a general Motown tour. So anyway, that's my review for this wonderful book. Peter, if you managed to see this video, thank you for making such a great book on my favourite Supreme and everyone's favourite Supreme, I think. Although some people will like Diana and Mary more. And it's great, I appreciate you going to all the lengths of having to sit there and hear all the emotion from her, because I wouldn't have been able to have done it if I was in your place. So thank you very much, and I always say my famous quote, Florence, we still hear a symphony. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you eventually buy this book, The Art of the Lost Supreme, Benjaminson, Lawrence Hill Books. And I will say Florence really does appreciate it. Goodbye.